Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 15th weekly episode of Seattle Baseline Podcast. My name is Julian Smith, and I'm running solo today. We're coming off of a 7-6 win against the Texas Rangers. It was an awesome game. Gutsy performance by Miles Mastroboni in the 12th inning. He got the catch and the run scoring base hit, scores Randy Arozarena. It was awesome. At first I was sitting on the couch, and then I started to stand up. I grabbed my dog's favorite Mariners shirt and put it on the dog. I was holding the dog. I was on the couch, like just yelling at the TV screen. It was super awesome. And as I was doing that, as I was on the couch and everything, my parents come up behind me. And for context, my parents, they don't really watch baseball. I wouldn't even put them in like the casual fan category. Like they know Ichiro. They know the name Randy Arozarena. They probably know the name Julio Rodriguez too. But if I asked them what this pose is right here, they probably wouldn't know. They probably call it a TikTok trend or whatnot. But they come up to me and they're looking at the screen, just like one glimpse of that TV screen, and go, looks like they've got a lot of runners on, but they're not scoring any. It's all for nothing. And it's like, wow, you just summarize the Mariners in one sentence. The 2025, not just 2025, like the Mariners for the past 3 years, they just described it in one sentence. That's insane. It was crazy. Even the people that don't watch the Mariners, they understand the Mariners. So it was super funny. But the runners in scoring position is a real thing. The the Mariners get him on a lot. And we had a point in the eighth inning last night where Jorge Polanco walks to load the bases with one out. And then Randy Rosarena comes up and hits into a double play, grounds into a double play. And it's it's rough because we need to score runs. And when Texas intentionally walk Cal Raleigh, that can't be the end all be all strategy against the Mariners, just to walk Cal Raleigh and they're never going to score any more runs unless they've got a hot inning. And the Mariners do have a lot of those hot innings, but they need to score runs without their best player hitting. And it's one of those things where Julio Rodriguez, our star player, hasn't had very many, not just hits and on base, but he hasn't had many extra base hits. He's had four so far, with one of them being a home run and three of them being doubles. That's it in the month of June. Julio Rodriguez needs to do more damage in order to score someone like JP Crawford, who gets on at a super high clip. He gets on 40% of the time. And we'll talk about JP later on. But for runners in scoring position to come in, you either need to hit a home run, you need to go double single, or you need to string together three base hits. Three base hits with the top of your order. And this one depends on the pitcher, obviously, but it shouldn't be that hard. You should be able to get the runner on, especially when JP Crawford's getting on in a 40% clip. That's insane. And then Julio, if he gets on base, Cal gets on base, you either have the bases loaded or you have a runner in already. And then you've got Jorge Polanco coming up. The Mariners need to find a way to score more runs. And 7 runs is great, but when you put that with the ratio that the Mariners had 16 hits, they could have scored more. The more chances you have, which the Mariners have done really well, they have a lot of chances, the more you'll score. That's a big improvement that the Mariners have had this year. They just need to take it one step more by scoring those runs in scoring position. It's it's tough because the Mariners the Mariners have improved. The offense has improved tremendously. Jorge Polanco is not hitting 200 for the season like he was last year. Randy Rosarena, we have him from the start of the season. JP Crawford went from being a 200 hitter to a 290 hitter with 400 on base. Julio Rodriguez needs to step up and provide us with the extra base hits. And if all he has to do is either hit extra base hits, that would be the best solution. But if he can get on base at a higher clip than 300, which right now in the month of June, he's sitting right around 300. He should be sitting around 350 in this month. That would change the offense significantly, especially with Cal Raleigh hitting so many home runs right now. If they intentionally walk him, they're taking away Cal's spot. If you have JP Crawford on first base, Julio Rodriguez strikes out and then Cal Raleigh gets on. You have 1 and 2 where Cal Raleigh probably could have hit a home run. And it's a great strategy by other teams. It's frustrating to watch because Cal Raleigh, we want to see Cal Raleigh hit, but that's the way it goes. You have a good hitter, they're going to just sneak by you. It's a good strategy. But speaking of JP Crawford, though, we had a question by Cooper Gaffney. Thanks for the question, Cooper. We'll be answering it here. Can JP Crawford make the All-Star game in 2025 as a shortstop? My answer to that is sadly, I don't think so. The shortstop, the AL shortstops right now are very, very strong. And starting with Jacob Wilson, who's been tremendous. He gets the bat on ball a lot. He doesn't walk very much, but he'll get on base at such a high amount that the on base percentage just comes with it. If your batting average is 370, your on base percentage isn't going to be lower than 370. So he's been doing a lot of damage so far this year. The Athletics are very much in the mix of things because of Jacob Wilson. And then we've got Bobby Witt Jr., Bobby Witt Jr. he's a name out there. Like, everybody knows who Aaron Judge is. Everyone knows who Shohei Ohtani is. Bobby Witt Jr. is that type of player. Everybody knows the name. And unfortunately, JP Crawford isn't that type of name. Here's my thought on JP. I think he is an all-star. Regardless of if he's actually chosen, JP Crawford is playing the way an all-star would right now. Gold glove defense, gets on base consistently. He is manufacturing runs for the Mariners right now. And this getting on base consistently it helps the Mariners a lot because it's something that keeps the line moving. It's if Julio grounds into a double play, then JP Crawford's walk or hit kind of goes away, but JP Crawford getting on base keeps the line moving. The amount of pitches that he takes when he walks, that also counts into the other pitcher's pitch count. JP Crawford getting on first base is really, really important. And it's not flashy. He's just quietly putting up numbers that would put him into the All-Star game. It's just, I think the name recognition part, it sucks sometimes because the writers know the name Bobby Witt Jr., they might not know the name JP Crawford. And Jacob Wilson is more so in that conversation because a lot of that name recognition again. He blasted off this year. He had a really, really strong start. He's continuing to hit. And I think JP Crawford is getting overshadowed He's not worse than these players. Don't get me wrong. And I believe that JP Crawford is an all-star. Regardless of if he gets chosen as an all-star, if when the Mariners make the playoffs this year, JP Crawford will be one of the most contributing members of the team with Cal Raleigh. And that's without question. The name recognition part sucks because of this. And I feel bad for JP Crawford. He's putting up numbers that should put him into the All-Star game. But that's my take. I think that I've said this many times, but JP Crawford should be in the All-Star game. He should be in the conversation for the starting shortstop or the bench shortstop. He shouldn't be outside of the conversation, and that's kind of the way that he's placed right now. We're going into game 2 of the Texas Rangers game later today, and JP Crawford, he will contribute again because that's what he consistently does. Thank you everyone for watching. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and our beautiful faces on YouTube. Check out our Instagram, comment, give us questions like Cooper did. Thanks, Cooper, and go Mariners.